Hi, and welcome to Prepping Essentials. Good morning, it's 5:30 on Saturday the 16th of July. Just making my way down to the land, and as always, not quite sure what we're going to get done today, but let's find out. Well, here we are down the land, and guess what? Yep, we've still got this mega sun. Ah dear. Mother Nature is certainly testing us this year with everything that's going on weather-wise, and not just here in the UK, but generally everywhere around the world. It's just adding to the complication that we're all having right now, trying to just get by. Anyway, it will be a flying visit today. I have really no time at all, so it'll just be the essentials, I'm afraid. I'll be sorting the chickens out, sorting the watering out, and we'll have a coffee and a chat in the cabin, but in all honesty, that's about all that's going to get done today. Not sure about tomorrow, we'll see, but all will be revealed in the cabin chat. Well, first things first, as usual, sort the chickens out. They're busy scratching around, digging up all of the corn. Cockerel's been having a bit of a crowing contest with the neighbour's cockerel. Got my little egg bounty out of the chicken coop, so let's get in the cabin and have a coffee and a quick chat. Well, good morning. It's the weekend. It's been a long time coming, this weekend. Yeah, morning cockerel. Yeah, long week. Weather's been, well, for some people I guess it's been beautiful. But not for me. This hot weather, it's just on and on and on. Seems like there's no end in sight, and they're forecasting record-breaking temperatures this week. They reckon it's going to get into the 40s here. It does in my cabin all the time, but outside they're saying it's going to be breaking 40, and that's not good. We're not geared up for this kind of weather here in the UK. Nobody hardly has any aircon. It's only really shops and offices that have that, business premises. So yeah, I'm not looking forward to that, I have to say. However, what I am looking forward to is the new house. Finally, yesterday, I got the keys to the house. So, hence my comment walking across the field this morning, it's going to be chaos. It's normally chaos anyway, but it's going to be even more chaotic. I've got loads of stuff to get out of storage. Literally, I'm just going to pile everything into the garage while I busy myself just looking at the house and seeing what needs doing from a decoration perspective or a repair perspective or whatever else perspective. So yeah, it's going to be chaos, and it's going to be chaos for a while. I've got a really busy week with work next week, travelling quite a lot actually, just at the wrong time. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit crazy and certainly very busy for me. Anyway, enough of my issues. How are you all doing, wherever you are and whatever you're doing? I hope you're staying safe and well and enjoying your weekend. Crazy world. Everything is kind of going to hell. Hence the little thumbnail of the video today. Uh, I'm not trying to be cryptic or smart when I ask, have you got a parachute? Because, you know, the economy, the global food supply, civil society, supply chains, financial markets, they're all going off this bloody cliff now. Um, and they're trying to take everybody with them. You know, it's all right saying, oh, it's a government issue, it's a business issue, it's a bank's issue. It isn't, it's our issue. All of the problems that governments, banks, corporations have created over the last few years are rapidly becoming crises for everybody just going about the daily business. And you can see this in countries around the world. There's lots of places now that people are up in arms on the street. Well, not necessarily up in arms, physical firearms, but you know what I mean. They're all kicking off and having little protests, demonstrations. Sri Lanka collapsed completely. The Prime Minister has taken over. The President left the country. And everyone stood around now in Sri Lanka wondering what the hell to do, because for average people, you've kind of been brainwashed into thinking, well, we just change the government and everything's going to be all right. And it isn't. Although the government collapsed in Sri Lanka and the president fled to the Maldives and the prime minister is going to get turfed out as well. So the popular uprising, you would think from the media, has won. Oh, you've well done, you've got the president and the prime minister out, got rid of that terrible government. So well done, you lot, bye. And meanwhile, back in Sri Lanka, there's nothing there. There's no power, there's no fuel, there's no food. It isn't just a case of let's get rid of the government and the next morning everything's going to be back to business as usual. It just doesn't work that way. So lots of countries around the world, people are protesting in the streets. You've got a few different types of protest. There's people protesting food shortages, there's people protesting the price of energy. In Holland, the farmers are protesting because the government's trying to take all the land off them. Get rid of that terrible dirty farming and eat this lab-grown meat or eat these insects instead. Ah dear, the world has indeed gone absolutely crazy. So the burning question is, are you ready for all of this? What happened in your country if the government suddenly disappeared because everyone was fed up? The next morning, what's going to happen to you? Have you got everything that you need? And hence the parachute uh, comment on the thumbnail. Lots of things you can be doing, lots of things you should have already been doing. And if you're new to prepping, it's almost too late. You need to start getting your parachute ready. Have a look at your food, have a look at your water. Get it now at today's prices. I'm saying this constantly in my videos. Have your alternative energy supply sorted out. Have a look at where you are, where you're living. If there were sudden mass protests and people beating each other up on the street, or the police and army on the streets shooting everybody, are you in the kind of area where you're going to get tied up in all of that? Do you live in the middle of a big city? If you do, I would suggest it's maybe time to have a little look around and see if you can move somewhere else. Whenever there's a real big crisis, it's the cities that bear the brunt of all of the violence. It's the cities that don't have have an alternative supply of anything. Their cities are absolutely dependent upon an army of trucks coming in every single day to fill all of the shelves up. They're also dependent on an army of people coming in every day to do all the stuff that the people who live in the city don't think about. You know, who is it that makes the coffee, that cleans the house, that takes the kids to school, that sweeps the streets? It's an army of people that come in from outside of the city. They don't live there. They live somewhere else, and they just come in the city to work. So, without being too doom and gloomy, we really are running out of time now to get the basic alternatives to the normal global supply chain and energy production chain sorted out. You might remember I was topping up gas tanks a couple of weeks ago to make sure I've got gas. I've got my solar as a substitute for the mains grid electric. I've got rainwater harvesting, and thank God, given the weather we've had this year, I'd have been completely buggered without that. Have a little think. Winter is not far away. It is coming, and it's coming quickly. And the media is already talking about a harsh winter because of the lack of energy. Well, let's rephrase that. It's not a lack of energy. There's shed loads of it. But the price of energy and the availability of it. I really do think that this year, as the temperatures start to drop and everyone starts trying to crank up the heating, I really do think there's a potential there for the mains grid to just fall over. There's also a definite potential for people who just can't afford it. They can't afford to crank up the gas or the electric this winter because the prices have just gone through the roof. So before we get to that stage, have a rummage around and find your parachute. What is it that's going to help you to survive all of this stuff? It's already here. Back in January, February, when I was talking about this, lots of comments. Oh, I don't see any shortages. Oh, prices are all right where I am. Where are those people now? Because stuff isn't available now. Prices are double, treble, in some cases quadruple. Our energy cost has quadrupled here in the UK. And there's another price hike to come in October, just in time for winter. So have a little think. If you're not prepping, for God's sake, get on with it. Don't put it off any longer. If you are prepping, just keep on topping up. And wherever you can afford it, top up even more. You will save money in the long run because prices are going to continue to rise. So it's not necessarily about, oh, I can't afford to spend that much money now. If you can't afford it now, what are you going to do in 3, 4, 6 months' time? Anyway, you said it was going to be short and sweet. It is. I've done the chickens. I need to start lugging water around and getting these plants watered. I probably will give you a quick run round just so you can see how stuff is progressing. I'm looking in the garden room there. That pumpkin that I put in, it's taken over everywhere. So yeah, let me get myself sorted out, get the watering done. I've got to get cracked on now. I've got so much to do, so apologies for the shortness of the video and the lack of variety in the content. But hopefully business will be back to usual. At least now I know I've got the house, and you know that I've got the house. So those little sort of more prepper orientated, informative videos will be coming soon, just in time for winter. So watch this space. Well, I said to give you a quick run round. I've just finished the watering. Blueberry bushes and fig, nothing new there. Blueberries are dying back, which is not unexpected. Chili's doing really well, putting on lots of growth. This pumpkin, it's everywhere, look. It's even climbing up the side of the garden room wall now. It's quite bizarre. Outside, trying to keep on top of this watering's a nightmare. These 2 potato barrels are about ready for lifting, I think. The ones I planted a couple of weeks ago are through. I'll be stunned if we can get bounty harvests this year with this weather. It's shocking, it really is. These at the end are ready for lifting, and in fact the crows are doing that for me already. Look, they're in there pecking around, pulling the potatoes out. Everything else, Swedes doing very, very well. Sweet corn doing very well. Strawberries starting to die back. That's borage, those little plants you can see there. One thing I did notice in this strawberry bed, I've got a little pumpkin come through, look. It's quite bizarre. I did plant some seeds, but nothing seemed to be happening with them, but it's on a last minute spurt. Onions really, really well this year. It's kind of pushed me to keep up with the watering. The size of these is absolutely phenomenal. Really looking forward to lifting those. And they're not far off ready. Garlic's dying back, so hopefully we'll have some decent garlic in there. Broccoli, lots of growth, but I still don't see any florets coming, which is a bit strange. I mean, I don't know, that could be down to the weather, who knows. Certainly had some pests digging around in there. Anyway, it's absolutely roasting, and it's still really early in the morning. It's what is it now, just gone 7. As you can see, sun's out on the field and massive in the sky. It's going to be a scorcher, but I need to be cracking on. I've got stuff to do, loads of stuff to do. Got the house to sort out, so I need to get packed up. Well, that's it for today. Very short today, but you wouldn't believe how much stuff I've got to get done. Or if you've moved house, maybe you will understand how much stuff I've got to get done. And as always, not enough time to do it in. Can't believe the temperature down here this early in the morning. Really, really, really hot. Trees are definitely struggling. I have tried to give them a bit of water here and there, but where's the rain? We need the rain. Fairly quiet here, but that latest hive has got a little bit of activity. The front one as well. It's making a liar of me. Yeah, they're out. I'm not surprised they're out. They must be warm in there. Must be warm in there. Hopefully we'll be back to some semblance of normality next week, and we'll be able to spend a bit more time. I am interested to see what's happening inside those hives. Also interested to see if I can get some honey out. That first hive has got quite a lot of honey in it. As always, it's the time. There ain't enough. Anyway, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, hope you're staying safe and well. Do enjoy your weekend. Do, please, keep your preps up. And if anything, speed them up. You are going to need that parachute later this year. Well, that's it for this video. I hope there was something in there that was of interest to you. If you did like the video, please do click on the like button. Also feel free to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. As always, I welcome any comments, questions or suggestions you might have. Just feel free to leave them in the comments section below. But for now, thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.